We're hearing that YouTube wants to make an example out of Disney, and not in a good way. You will find no ABC News on YouTube TV on Election Day today, and the reason is simple. The folks behind Google say, hey, Bob Iger, take your bargaining BS and find the next sucker. We're not going to be it. Today we'll tell you why, as hard as they might try, Disney is going to lose to YouTube. All right, folks, take a look at this. It's out of Awful announcing Disney is losing $5 million every single day. It's off of YouTube TV. How much longer are both sides willing to hold out? Well, we're hearing that YouTube TV wants to make a display of Disney, an example of them, and say, don't ever mess with us again. And we've got news on that. We'll show it to you. Bob Iger is now begging YouTube. Drew Lerner has the story, says we're now on day 4 of the Disney blackout on YouTube TV. Sports fans that rely on the Google-owned pay TV service have already gone a full weekend without access to the many key college football games on the networks of ABC and ESPN. And now, fans are at risk of missing out on a Monday night football game. They are between the Arizona Cardinals and Dallas Cowboys, along with a full slate of college basketball games on the sports opening night. Now, you might say, Pro, that just goes to show you Disney's really putting a hurt on YouTube. And I say to you, yeah, well, how about the fact that 10 million people are not watching that game now, and that the advertisers are not getting that money now, and that means Disney's not getting it either now. Given the players involved, Disney, which owns much of the most valuable live programming on television, and Google, owner of what soon projects to be the largest pay TV service in the country. And by the way, YouTube all on its own is vastly larger than the entirety of Disney. People need to understand just how big YouTube is. We're not talking about Google. Just YouTube. We're not talking about Alphabet. Just YouTube. YouTube has been valued at $1 trillion. Disney's is like $200 billion. Okay?
And that's become even huger lately because there's a huge influx of people watching YouTube on their plain old TVs rather than on their computers or their phones.
Right. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Disney is not only involved in a carriage dispute with YouTube TV, but what makes this unique is that Disney also, they're the owner of Hulu Live TV, which means they're not only the provider of the content to YouTube TV, but they're also the direct competitor. And they, as the direct competitor, have been getting the pants beat off of them. How bad is it getting right now? Well, don't let Disney fool you. They're begging. YouTube TV has now declined Disney's proposal to restore ABC for Election Day coverage. Oh my, how the tables have turned. I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. I want to read the article and get the panel in, and I'm going to explain exactly why Disney is begging to get David Muir in front of all those viewers. Meg James has this out of the LA Times. Millions of YouTube TV subscribers are missing Monday Night Football on ESPN and ABC News Election Day coverage. Monday Night Football features the Cowboys, yada, 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 you know it. Disney on Monday sought a temporary thaw in tensions with Google after the two sides failed last week to strike a new distribution contract covering Disney's television channels on Google's YouTube TV. Now, why does Disney suddenly want to thaw this on Election Day? Well, folks, what if I told you that it's all because they got to put their hurt on YouTube with the sports over the weekend? And now they're trying to say, oh, we want to be your friend. We want to be your friend on a day that matters to Disney. Quote, despite the impasse that led to the current blackout, we've asked YouTube TV to restore ABC for Election Day so subscribers have access to the information they rely on. A Disney spokesperson said in a statement Monday, we believe in putting the public interest first and hope YouTube TV will take this small step for their customers while we continue to work toward a fair agreement. Yeah, sure. Do you all really believe that it's in the public interest? Do you all really believe that? Because I don't really believe that. Panel, I want to bring you on. Lou, start with you. What say you when it comes to the public interest?
You have to understand that for the major networks, election years are big advertising years. Because even people who may not like their ordinary coverage want to see who won and who's liable to win and all that kind of stuff. So to remove the advertising revenue that goes along with having an election season, which won't come again for another 2 years.
Well, no, remember though, this is not the midterm. This is the special election.
You're right.
So next year will be the midterm.
Pardon me. Right. Next will be the midterm, excuse me. But my point is, it's just like, I was just reading a story about Peacock, and they were talking about, well, every other year there's no Olympics, and so their ad revenue goes down. Those years are irreplaceable advertising revenue wise. And so if you cancel them, you take a serious, serious hit to revenue.
Guys, I'm going to explain in just a minute why Disney's so desperate. First of all, though, Ron, let's go to you. Ron, your thoughts on Disney taking away the big sports weekend from YouTube TV and then saying, oh, no, we totally want to be your friends on Election Day. And it's in the public interest. You should do it. Totally do it. Come on, do it.
Do it because it's in because Disney's all about the public interest, right? That's exactly what they have shown that they want. No, this is just another move on their part to try and get back lost revenue, which really is the theme of the company lately. You look at the box office, lost revenue. You look at the parks, lost revenue. It's just over and over again. And Disney Plus, oh my gosh, it's just tons of lost revenue there. And they're using the election day coverage as an excuse that it's in the public interest, but this is all about Disney. It has nothing to do with the public.
I'm so glad you think that, because guess what? It's true what you say. It's true. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready to see it? We promised it to you. We'll give it to you. Lauren, I'm coming to you in just a minute. Out of TV Insider. Just before Halloween, CBS evening's news ratings revealed amid big shakeup and John Dickerson exiting. What's this about, ladies and gentlemen? This is about defending ABC News on the biggest day for ABC News forthcoming. Lou's exactly right about this. Here's the article. It says, CBS News has gone through several significant changes in recent weeks. Not ABC News, okay? Different CBS News. Barry Weiss, remember? Ellison, Skynet's, including a new editor-in-chief and high-profile exits. But how are these shakeups impacting networks' ratings? According to Adweek, citing Nielsen's Live Plus Same-Day Big Data Plus programs ratings, CBS Evening News recorded double-digit growth among total viewers for the week of October 20th. The show, which then was hosted by Dickerson, now gone, and Maurice Dubois, averaged 4 million total viewers, up 12% from the week prior. Now, they're down from the election, and whatever, but Barry Weiss over at CBS is having a very nice run right now. Ratings are on the rise. They're at half of ABC, okay? But there's reason for Disney to fear CBS and what comes next. There are huge shakeups. 60 Minutes, under the direction of Barry Weiss, just had President Trump on. Massive ratings for that. And they played fairly nice with Trump. I mean, it wasn't softball, but it wasn't as it has been in the past, bash the orange man. So ABC has a ton to worry about. Disney has a ton to worry about. And Lauren, they're worried about if they're not on YouTube TV, guess what? We're going to get the ratings on this for the special election day. And if their battle with YouTube TV causes advertisers to say, oh, wait, CBS is where it's at, look out. Bar the doors, Bob. This is not going to go well. And YouTube TV has now said, no, we will not. They can go to the other networks for the public interest. Lauren, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing about this is that it shows that YouTube really is the platform now. It's like legacy media is no longer where you go to for your trusted news. You're going to YouTube and then choosing the channels and the coverage that you want. And I think this was a giant miscalculation on their part. They are still acting as though they're the 800-pound gorilla, and they no longer are. And I think that realization is hitting them a little bit too late. This was an unforced error on their part.
One more thing about that, Lauren. What you said about you go to YouTube first and then you choose what you want applies whether you're left wing, right wing, any wing. It's not a matter of partisanship. It's a matter of choice.
Yeah, now the danger there is that the algorithm is going to tend to craft its algorithm to what it thinks that you want, and that does lead to echo chamberism.
Well,
but
sure.
you can escape that, though, if you're selective about your coverage and you want to see all sides of the issue, because all of the platforms are on there, because it would be reckless not to be.
And by the way, all those people that aren't, or rather can't advertise on ABC because it's not going anywhere because of YouTube, they're going to advertise somewhere, i.e. to the competition. So it's not a zero-sum game. I mean, you're not just saying, well, they'll get a little less. No, they'll get a little less, and the other guys will get a little more. So just by default.
I'm looking forward to when we start cutting ads that say, when breaking news happens, we'll be there to cover it for you.
Yeah, we're there now, baby. We're down. By the way, I'll tell you this. So Hulu TV, live TV, mixed with ESPN, mixed with now Fubo. Disney has tried every way in the world to catch YouTube. Just YouTube, not Google, not Alphabet, literally just YouTube, has now a valuation 5 times the size of Disney. So I don't know how they compete with them. Like, I don't know how you win this. I don't know. It's, as I've compared it before, it's like a Wii person. Okay, not somebody who plays Nintendo Wii, like a very small person. It's someone of the 4-foot variety trying to do a dunking contest versus Shaq. Like, I don't know how you do it.
Judge in Prescott, Arizona, a Wii person.
If you zoom in, Lou, let me show you this to you real quick, Lou. I'm going to zoom in so people can see this better. This is Nielsen, and I want people to understand why Disney is in. I suppose they view this as, in terms of streaming, existential. This chart, what it shows is that even during a month when sports are at their maximum, right? We're having the NBA, the NFL, college football, the MLB playoffs. This is when this is measuring this. Disney is now far and away the biggest live sports provider. And they've turned their company into 1/3 sports, 1/3 theme parks, and 1/3 everything else. At that same time that they have all this going on, this should be their biggest time of the year. YouTube is still outperforming them. YouTube content creators make up more than 12% of all the stuff that's on TVs across America. And Disney is losing even in their biggest moment. That's why they're terrified of YouTube and YouTube TV.
And look who's sneaking up behind him in 3rd place.
NBC Universal.
Yeah.
But here's my question about this chart. That says the Walt Disney Company. YouTube is one entity, and when it says the Walt Disney Company right underneath YouTube, that's more than one thing, right? That is that's Disney Plus, everything. That's Hulu, that's
Touchstone, Fox, everything. Yeah.
So it's not even really a fair comparison even in this chart.
Well, what if I told you, Ron, it's even worse than that? Ha! Stole it from you, Lou. Ron, Disney is paying out the bumpkus for all of that stuff. YouTube largely gets it for free because YouTube isn't paying us directly. Like here on the Pro Channel, we're getting ad revenue cash, but YouTube doesn't send us a budget and say, go make a show. And they don't do that with anybody else, basically. So YouTube has a completely different model than everybody else here. It is raining money at YouTube every single day.
Well, I mean, also look at being a content creator as if you were a server for a restaurant. Let's say that the restaurant was so popular that they guarantee you were going to get income if you became a server there. But, they're also going to, because they are so popular, they're going to take a certain percentage of your tips as well. That's kind of how YouTube is. Since it's there, they're getting that. They're like we pay to be on the YouTube platform in a sense. So
blood, sweat, and tears, Ron. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Lots of blood, lots of people don't. I think a lot of people don't realize the amount of work that
don't mention the urine. That's we shouldn't talk about that side. Yeah.
That goes into creating content, but man, it's tough. Anybody that's ever attempted to do anything on YouTube knows just how much of a challenge it is, and we're doing it out of the love. And I think this is the greatest thing about the new media and content creators. We're doing it because of our passion to want to bring the audience the right information and what the audience actually wants, rather than like just our own ideas. It's to me, it's an amazing thing. YouTube has become something that it's just, I think it's what the world needs today with free speech, as long as they allow as much free speech as possible. So unless
they seem to be in it.
I think Tevye addressed this, Ron. It's no shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either.
Well, I'll tell you this, guys.
Love Rep W.
I'll tell you this, guys. I've got the quote now from YouTube, the response. Lauren, when I go to you, you tell me what you think about this. YouTube is responding to Disney now and says, quote, "We agree that the right priority here is to give customers what they want." This is the response now we're getting from YouTube. "Unfortunately, your proposal would permit us to return Disney's ABC stations only for a day and will cause customer confusion among those who may briefly see ABC on YouTube TV, only to lose it again shortly thereafter." So the answer continues to be no. Sorry, Bob, but we will not lob your network news on there so you can get ratings and pump up your stock. And Lauren seems a little off to me. Disney has miscalculated badly on this.
It sounds to me a little bit like you should probably vote on the continuing resolution that's clean so that we can start the negotiations.
Well, let's put it this way. The moral of the story in all of this that Disney refuses to learn is just because you was once the popular people doesn't mean you will still be later. I offer as proof a relevant number that I happened to look up earlier. The original Broadway run of Cats had 7,485 performances, and the musical, which opened in October 1982, ran for 18 years on Broadway before closing in 2000. And yet the movie sucks. So there you go. That's how much your past successes matter to your current reality.
The movie definitely sucks. And Disney's tactics here against YouTube also seem to greatly suck. Poor Disney, they're in a ditch they made themselves. Bob Iger, not going so well. How much longer does this go? I don't know. But YouTube's got plenty of money, 5 times the value as Disney, and Disney's losing millions and millions every day. They keep trying this one. Ooh, I believe it's time, if we want to go with a sports analogy, might be time for an audible.
Why can't I go around topless anymore?
Because it's not appropriate.
Kevin Apollo isn't appropriate?
Kevin Apollo's like a Greek god. And besides, he does kind of wear shirts. Sometimes.
I mean, that kind of explains it.
I mean, technically Apollo is a Roman god borrowed from the Greeks, which makes sense, because he's powerful and has great takes.
Look, if you love Athena that much, you can marry him.
Nope, but I do plan to check out Lauren and Apollo on Tuesdays and Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Wait, Lauren's there? This is another opportunity to see if we can get him to watch the Highlander movies.